Hello everyone, my name is Mangrove and welcome back or welcome to this brand new Forever World series. If you've been following along, last episode we built the entrance to the subscriber caverns over there, and I still have not terraformed the outside, but I promise that is coming. And then we also crafted this beautiful pickaxe, and on the very first roll we ended up getting Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, and Unbreaking 3. And as you can see, I did end up enchanting another diamond pickaxe with Efficiency 4, and now we have Efficiency 5. So as soon as we get mending on this bad boy, it's good to go. And we also got our brand new Forever World horse. This is Phoebe, and she's named after my very first pet in real life. And if you haven't watched last week's episode, go check that out. And today, I think today's going to be a more chilled out, relaxing day, or at least I hope so, because we're going to go explore the world. There's some things that I need. I plan on building our first structure here on the island very soon, but in order to build that, there's some materials that I'm going to need that I just don't have yet. So today's goal is to go out and explore the world and see if we can collect those items, and also just get a general vibe of the area and see what biomes are around us, and maybe where we can collect farm sand, or bring some other mobs home, things like that. We're just going to explore the world, but we are going to take Phoebe with us, and hopefully she can get in a boat, right? Oh, she's going to trample my crops, isn't she? Oh no. Okay, let's try to get down here nice and easy. Don't trample the crops. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, this wheat field is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Okay, if I just get off. No. Phoebe, get in the boat. Okay, what if I get in the boat and then drive to her? She's not getting in. Get in the boat. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, after trying for a while, she just doesn't get in the boat. Like, it's just not a thing. So, new plan. I'm gonna see if we can lead her across. If I get in the boat, does she stay on the lead? All right, this is how we're traveling. Let's go. Now, we have already been over in this area. This is where our village is, where we're going to be putting together a villager breeder. Maybe we might put the trading hall over here as well, but if not, then we'll just move the villagers over to Starter Island. But we haven't gone too far out this way, and yeah, this is just a big island, isn't it? This is just going to end right back out in the ocean. Ooh, there is another village, and it's not too far from our village either. Is Phoebe still behind me? Okay, yes. So yeah, let's go see what this village has to offer. Also, I realized that I didn't bring any iron with me or a shovel. So hopefully we can find some iron here. Come here. Oh, okay, calm down. Calm down. And awesome, we got 3. But we don't have any wood, dang it! Okay, this is actually a pretty small village, and I've checked all the houses, and the only thing that I really got was a bundle that had nothing in it, and I stole a cauldron. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this village. So let's get the heck out of here and see what else we can find across the ocean. Oh, it's a desert! Not just a desert, but there's also a desert village, and maybe we'll get lucky and we can find a desert temple. Also, I think this is a warm ocean biome, I think. So we can find some interesting things here. I think this is where we would get a sniffer egg, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, this area is going to be very useful to us. So I'm just gonna leash Phoebe up right here while we explore this village. And I guess while we do it, I got some questions for you guys, or at least one very important question. With all this exploring that we're doing today, do you guys remember the first time that you left your house to go on a big trip? Maybe it was a vacation. Here in the States, we go to a lot of people go to Florida when they're on vacation. Maybe it was to visit a relative in a different area that's really far away from where you live. Any kind of traveling plans, because this kind of reminds me of the first time that I went traveling, which if you've seen any of my previous videos, you may have heard me talk about how I used to be a touring musician. And actually the first time that I left my state was on tour. Me and my bands, we had just signed a label contract with a label called Red Chord Records, and they invited us to come and play their festival, which was Red Chord Fest, which was in Chicago, Illinois. Also kind of a big tourist-y place. And you know, the only thing that I knew about Chicago was the famous Chicago style pizza. That's really the only thing that I ever really knew, aside from sports teams like the Chicago Bears and the Cubs. Aside from that, the only thing I knew was Chicago style pizza. So we drove out there, and 11 obsidian. We could make another portal with that, I think. We might be one short, but anyway, so we travel out to Chicago, and it's like nothing I've ever seen. I'm from a very small town where literally everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's names. We know everybody's family. We know their family business. It's kind of a hassle because there's no secrets in a small community like that. If there's drama in one family, the entire town knows about it. That's the kind of place where I grew up. And Chicago, it's a completely different story. It's a big city, and it was quite intimidating for somebody like me who's never left their small town. And you know, I was walking through skyscrapers. Ooh, do we do this today? I don't know. I mean, all we have is iron armor, but they might have Allays. All right, yeah, I think it's worth it for the Allays alone. We're probably going to travel out there later on today. But yeah, so I'm walking through these skyscrapers, which is the first time that I've ever seen them up close and personal. And that's also how I learned that I apparently have vertigo, or some kind of fear of inhumanly large objects, because these buildings should not be this big. Nothing should be this large. It is terrifying standing at the bottom of a skyscraper and looking up into the sky, and you still can't see the top of the building that you're standing directly in front of. To me, it is terrifying. And it was the first time that I had ever seen anything like this, because in my small town, we have one gas station, one traffic light, and that's it. I mean, it's a the complete opposite of what I'm used to. And they had a lot of really cool stuff. They had not a subway train. It was similar to a subway train, except it was in the sky. It wasn't underground. It was between the skyscrapers. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't even know what you call that. To this day, I don't know what you would call it. But well, let's not drown. We went on that train for some reason. Don't know why, because, you know, I had already learned that vertigo was a thing for me. But for some reason, we thought that it would be a fun idea to go on this train. Is that another village? Okay, all right, this is good stuff. But yeah, we went on this train, and it was like a 20-minute train ride, I think, from one side of this city to the other. And sorry, I'm getting nervous because there's no Allay. So I don't know if it's, oh, there is an allay. How do we befriend these things? There's just one in there. No, there's two in there. All right, I'm gonna remember where this is. I'm gonna actually get the coordinates now so we can come back to it later. But you guys let me know how we tame the Allays, because I would really like, I've never seen an Allay in Minecraft before. So that's a first for me right there. But I would love to get those guys back to the base and see what kind of use we can get out of them. But yeah, so we're on this train and we're driving or riding the train between these skyscrapers, which apparently I also have a fear of bridges, because this train ride is essentially just one big, huge, massive bridge. And yeah, I didn't have fun. It was pretty terrifying for me. I was ready for it to be over before it even began. But we did make it to the end, and they also had some other really cool stuff in Chicago. Like they had this pier, I guess you would call it a pier, and I think it was closed at the time, because I remember us walking out there, but there wasn't really anything going on. Like I don't know, we walked to the end of it and we stared at the water, but they didn't have any activities or anything going on, and we had a lot of people like side staring us like we weren't supposed to be there or something. So I think it was closed for maybe the season or something. I don't really know, but we did also find, apparently there's this it's like a famous giant silver bean it's like a giant mirror in the shape of a bean, and people can walk under it, and there's a lot of famous pictures taken in front of it. Apparently it's like a popular tourist thing for people to go and take a picture with this bean, and again I didn't even know that it existed until I was standing in front of it. But I got to take my picture with it with my bandmates, and we got to do a lot of cool stuff. We had luckily we had a friend who lived in Chicago, or they had family who lived in Chicago, and they went with us. So we did have a place to stay. We got to stay with these people, and then we went to go play our festival. We played Red Court Fest, and there was it was an all-day festival. I think there was something like 30 bands. There might have been more than that. And I remember I was a guitar player, and we used a wireless guitar system, and the guitar system, the receiver or the output, whichever way you look at it, connects to a wall. Obviously it has to have power from somewhere, so it's plugged into a wall. And I remember there was a bad ground or something, because at first it wasn't getting any power, and they had this maintenance guy come out, and he did something. I can't remember what he did, but we started getting power, and it was working. And while we were playing, I remember there was this I mean, it might have been an explosion. I couldn't hear it because we were playing music, but I definitely felt it. There was some sparks coming out from the outlet while we were playing, and I to this day I don't really know what happened, but while we were playing, I just remember a bright light behind me, and I felt heat, and I turned around and looked, and the outlet was just sparking. The sparks were going everywhere, and yeah, that was the end of our set. Then that night we were staying with our friends, and oh, I was excited about the obsidian that we found earlier, but I literally have a diamond pick in my hotbar, so I can literally just mine it. But I mean, we still don't have to go and find lava in the caves or anything, so still a plus. I'll take it. And this doesn't have a gold block. I feel robbed. Dang it. Okay, we're leaving here. But yeah, so that night we were staying with our friends, and the plan was we were on a mission. We were going to have this Chicago-style pizza in person for the first time. And we were out walking around Chicago, which, if you know the reputation of Chicago, kind of a scary place. But, you know, I was young, and so were my bandmates. We didn't really know any better. And we were walking around Chicago at like 2 a.m. And for some reason, we thought that we were going to be able to find an open pizza place in Chicago at 2 a.m., which, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's a big city, so things, or at least we thought anyway, that things were going to be open later in Chicago than they would be back in our home state. And there were some pizza places open. Like I can't remember the name of the pizza place that we ended up going to. We tried to go to like 5 different places, but they were all closed. But we did end up finding one that was open. It was ran by a family, and it was like a Hawaiian pizza, because for some reason this Chicago pizza parlor ran by a family in Chicago didn't have the traditional Chicago style pizza. So we had to settle for what they had, which was just Hawaiian pizza, which we get that at our house. At that point, I did not get to try authentic Chicago style pizza. Later in life, I did get to try it, but it did not happen during this trip. It was another trip, a different tour later in life that I went out to Chicago for the second time, and that was when I finally got to try Chicago style pizza, which I must say is probably my favorite kind of pizza that I've ever had. It actually is delicious, and it was also much more food than any one person should ever eat. I had like a quarter of a slice because, I mean, this thing was massive. It was thick, and it was just a grease graveyard. I mean, it was crazy, but it was delicious, and it was paid for by the label. The label took us out to eat. Was that the village that I was at earlier? I think it is. The label took us out to eat, just to hang out with us. We got to hang out with our label owner and just spend the day with him. It was really nice. And on our way back home, our tour bus, well, it's not really a tour bus, it's a tour van with a big trailer on the back. It broke down, and we were like, oh no, stop it, get away. Oh geez, I'm sorry, Phoebe, I am so sorry. Okay, how do we do I feed her this? I think I have to give her oh no, that did heal her. Okay, nice. Almost lost Phoebe. That would not have been great. I would have been very sad. But yeah, so the van broke down, and I had to call my boss that night and let her know that I wasn't going to be able to make my shift in the next morning. And she was already kind of frustrated because I went on this tour like right at peak season. We had audits coming up, so she was not happy that I was even going on this tour. So to hear that I also was not going to be back on my scheduled first day back, yeah, she wasn't too happy. So yeah, this trip, this tour, literally almost cost me my part-time job, but we did eventually make it home, and you know, I kept my job. It was all good. But that was the first time that I ever traveled. It was the first time that I left my state. I think I was like 16, maybe 17, and I had never left my state before, which is kind of hard to believe because a lot of people that I know had been to multiple states by the time that they were my age. So I was a late bloomer when it comes to exploring the world, apparently. But there is another village on the top of that mountain. So before the sun goes down, I'm gonna try to get some sleep, and then we will go check out that village. Guys, I haven't made it to the village yet, but is that what I think it is? Guys, we have just found the best tree in the entire game. We have found the mangrove tree. I am half tempted to base here. I'm not even kidding, but I'm not going to. I like where we're at. I have plans for where we're at, but this is awesome. I am definitely getting some of these, and we're gonna have mangrove trees back at Starter Island. This is awesome. Well, I was really hoping to find at least, oh, here's cocoa beans. I was really hoping to find at least a desert temple, but instead we found 6 different villages. Yes, I did find another village between the last cut and this one, but there's just not much else out here, at least none that I've really been able to find. I don't think we're going to make it back to Starter Island in this video, but look, another ruined portal, and that one's basically finished. I am half tempted to use this basically finished portal and light it and go into the Nether for the first time, but I don't want to rush it. We have been, in my opinion, I think we've been going at a very good pace, and I don't want to risk our progression, and we still haven't died yet, and it's episode 4. I don't want to risk going into the Nether and that being an early death. I think if we make it to episode 10 without dying, then episode 10 is when we will go to the Nether. So I'm going to leave this for now, and I guess I'm going to end the video, and I'm going to keep exploring. So far today, we have found a cartography table, we found a couple emeralds, some books, most importantly, the mangrove items. But aside from that, not really much else. I would like to get the mangrove, yeah, those out real quick, because since we're not going to make it back to Starter Island, we're going to have to determine what our 100-day item is going to be, and I just put it back in there. Are you joking me? Okay, so I think to remember our very first journey, our 100-day item is going to be one of these, what are they called? Mangrove propagules. So remind me when we get back to the island that is going to be our 100-day item. And since we're not at the subscriber caverns, I can't put any more names into the cave, but I do have a list of names, and those names are Human Bumblebee, Mason IDK, Ultra Sands, Lemon Mason 44, and Walt W2. If you would like to have your name inside of the subscriber caverns, then all you got to do is do what's in the name. Subscribe. If you subscribe, I'll put your name in the subscriber caverns. It's that easy. But for now, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm going to keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm trying to make my way back to Starter Island, and I'm lost, but I found a desert temple. So I figured, before we go, might as well bring you guys along with me to see what we get inside this temple. Did that press? I really don't want to die right now. Multi-shot, power, sweeping edge. All that for nothing.